Ezekiel chapter 30. The word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, prophesy, and say, Thus says Adonai Elohim, Wail, alas, for the day is near. The day of Adonai is near, a day of clouds, a time for the nations. A sword will come against Egypt. Anguish will be in Ethiopia when the slain fall in Egypt. They will take away her abundance. Her foundations will be torn down. Ethiopia, Put and Lud, all the mixed people, Libya and children of the covenant land will fall with them by the sword. Thus says Adonai Elohim, those who support Egypt will fall. The pride of her power will collapse. From Migdol to Syene, they will fall within her by the sword. It is a declaration of Adonai. They will be desolate among desolate lands. Her cities will be among ruined cities. They will know that I am Adonai when I have set a fire in Egypt and all her supporters are destroyed. On that day, messengers will go out from before me in ships to frighten Ethiopians out of complacency. Anguish will come on them as on the day of Egypt, for behold, it is coming. Thus says Adonai Elohim, I will put away the pomp of Egypt by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, he and his people with him. The ruthless of the nations will be brought in to destroy the land. They will draw their swords against Egypt and fill the land with the slain. I will make the rivers dry. I will sell the land into the hand of the evildoers. I will make the land desolate and all that is in it by the hand of strangers. I, Adonai, have spoken it. Thus says Adonai Elohim, I will destroy the idols. I will destroy the pagan gods from Noph. There will no longer be a prince in the land of Egypt. I will strike terror in the land of Egypt. I will make Pathros desolate. I will set a fire in Zoan. I will execute judgment in No. I will pour my fury on Sin, the stronghold of Egypt. I will cut off the multitude of No. I will set a fire in Egypt. Sin will wreathe in anguish. No will be assaulted. Noph will face enemies daily. The young men of Aven and Pi-beseth will fall by the sword, and the woman will go into captivity. In Tehaphnehes, the day will grow dark when I break the yokes of Egypt there. The pride of her power will cease in her. A cloud will cover her. Her daughters will go into captivity. So I will execute judgments in Egypt, and they will know that I am Adonai. On the 7th day of the first month of the 11th year, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Behold, it has not been bound up to be healed or put in a splint, so that it is wrapped up with a bandage, to grow strong to wield the sword. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, I am against Pharaoh, king of Egypt. I will break his arms, the strong one and the one that was broken. I will cause the sword to fall out of his hand. I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations and disperse them throughout the countries. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon and put my sword into his hand. I will break the arms of Pharaoh, so he will groan before him like a fatally wounded man. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, but Pharaoh's arms will fall. So they will know that I am Adonai when I put my sword into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he stretches it out against the land of Egypt. I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations and disperse them throughout the countries. Then they will know that I am Adonai. Chapter 31. On the first day of the 3rd month of the 11th year, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, say to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his multitude, who is like you in your greatness? Behold, Assyria was a cedar in Lebanon, with beautiful branches shadowing the forest of lofty height. Its top was in leafy branches. Water nourished it. The deep made it tall. With its rivers going around its planting, it has sent out its watercourses to all the trees of the field. Therefore, its height was loftier than all the trees of the field. Its branches multiplied and its boughs became long because of the abundant water in its shoots. All the birds of the sky nested in its branches. All the beasts of the field gave birth to their young under its branches. All great nations lived under its shade. It was beautiful in its greatness, in the length of its branches, for its root was in abundant water. The cedars in the garden of God could not compare with it. No cypress trees could rival its boughs. No plane trees could match its branches. No tree in the garden of God could compare to its beauty. I made it beautiful with its many limbs. All the trees of Eden and God's garden envied it. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, because you are exalted in height, its top set up among leafy branches, its heart haughty in its height, I gave it into the hand of a ruler of nations, who surely dealt with it. I drove it out as befits its wickedness. Ruthless barbarians from the nations cut it down. They cast it down on the mountains, and in all the valleys its branches fell. Its branches have laid broken in all the stream beds of the land. All the people of the earth have come out from its shade and abandoned it. All the birds of the sky lived on its fallen trunk, and all the beasts of the field upon its fallen branches. So none of all the trees by the water should exalt themselves in their height, or set their top among the leafy boughs. None of their well-watered mighty ones should attain their height, for they have all been given to death, to the lowest regions under the earth, among the children of men who go down to the pit. Thus says Adonai Elohim, in the day when he went down to Sheol, I caused the deep to mourn and cover itself for him. I restrained his rivers, so the great waters were stopped. I made Lebanon mourn for him. All the trees of the field wilt away for it. I made the nations tremble at the sound of its fall, when I cast him down to Sheol with those who descend into the pit. All the well-watered trees of Eden, the choice of and best of Lebanon, were comforted in the lowest parts of the earth. They also went down with him to Sheol, to those slain by the sword, those who were his mighty arm, who lived in his shadow among the nations, who is like you in glory and greatness among the trees of Eden. You will be brought down with the trees of Eden to the lowest parts of the earth. You will lie among the uncircumcised, with those slain by the sword. This is Pharaoh and all his multitude. It is a declaration of Adonai. Chapter 32. On the first day of the 12th month of the 12th year, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, lift up a lament for Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and say to him, You compare yourself to a young lion of the nations, but you are a crocodile in the waters. You thrash about in your rivers and muddy the water with your feet and foul their streams. Thus says Adonai Elohim, I will throw my net over you with a host of many peoples. They will haul you up in my net. I will leave you on the land. I will hurl you on an open field. I will cause all the birds of the sky to settle upon you. I will gorge the beasts of the whole earth with you. I will strew your flesh on the mountains and fill the valleys with your refuse. I will drench the land with the flow of your blood up to the hills. The ravines will be full of you. When I extinguish you, I will cover the sky and darken the stars. I will cover the sun with cloud, and the moon will not give her light. It will darken all of the heaven's bright lights over you and set darkness on your land. It is a declaration of Adonai. I will disturb the heart of many people when I bring about your destruction among the nations, into lands you have not known. I will make many people appalled at you. Their kings I will totally aghast at you. when I brandish my sword over you. They will shudder every moment, every man for his own life, on the day of your downfall. For thus says Adonai Elohim, the sword of the king of Babylon will come upon you. By the swords of the mighty I will cause your multitude to fall. They are all ruthless among the nations. They will devastate the pride of Egypt. All of its multitude will be annihilated. I will destroy all the beasts from the beside plentiful water. No human foot will muddy them again, nor will hoofs of beasts muddy them. Then I will make their waters settle and make their streams flow like oil. It is a declaration of Adonai. When I make the land of Egypt desolate and waste when it was previously full, when I strike all that live there, they will know that I am Adonai. This is a funeral song. Chant it, daughters of the nations. Chant for Egypt. All her multitude will chant it. It is a declaration of Adonai. On the 15th day of the month in the 12th year, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, wail over Egypt's throng. Bring them down, her and the daughters of lofty nations, to the underworld, to those who go down into the pit. Who do you surpass in beauty? Go down, lie with the uncircumcised, for they fall among those slain by the sword. She is given over to the sword. They drag her down with all her throng. The strongest warriors will speak of him and his allies from the midst of Sheol. They have gone down, they lie still, the uncircumcised slain by the sword. Assyria is there and all her company. Their graves surround them, all of them slain, fallen by the sword. Her graves are set in the deepest parts of the pit. Her company surrounds her grave, all of them slain, fallen by the sword, who put terror in the land of the living. There is Elam and all her multitude surrounding her grave, all of them slain, fallen by the sword, who went down uncircumcised into the underworld, who caused terror in the land of the living. They bear their disgrace with those who go down to the pit. They have made her a bed among the slain with all her throng, her graves about them, all of them uncircumcised, slain, fallen by the sword, though they caused terror in the land of the living. So they bear their disgrace with those who go down to the pit. They are laid among the slain. Meshech Tubal is there and all her throng, her graves among them, all of them uncircumcised, slain by the sword, though they spread their terror in the land of the living. They do not lie with the mighty, the fallen from among the uncircumcised, who went down to Sheol with their weapons of war. They put their swords under their heads, their iniquities rest on their bones, because the terror of the mighty ones was in the land of the living. You also will be shattered and lie among the uncircumcised, with those who are slain by the sword. Edom is there, her kings and all her princes, who for all their might are laid with those slain by the sword. They lie with the uncircumcised, with those who go down to the pit. The princes of the north are there. All of them, all the Sidonians, who have gone down with the slain, ashamed for all the terror that they caused by their might. They lie uncircumcised with those slain by the sword. They bear their disgrace with those who go down to the pit. When Pharaoh sees them, he will be comforted for all his throng, Pharaoh and all his army slain by the sword. It is a declaration of Adonai. For I have put terror in the land of the living. He will lie among the uncircumcised, with those slain by the sword, Pharaoh and all his multitude. It is a declaration of Adonai. Chapter 33. The word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of your people and say to them, when I bring the sword upon a land, suppose the people of the land take a man from among them and set him as their watchman. If when he sees the sword coming upon the land, he blows the shofar and warns the people, then whoever hears the sound of the shofar but ignores the warning, if the sword comes and takes him away, his blood will be on his own head. he hears the sound of the shofar and ignores the warning, his blood will be on himself. However, if he had taken warning, he would have saved his soul. But if the watchman sees the sword come and does not blow the shofar, the people are not warned. Then the sword does come and takes a person from among them. He is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will require at the watchman's hand. You, son of man, I have set you as a watchman for the house of Israel. When you hear the word from my mouth, warn them from me. When I say to the wicked, wicked one, you will surely die, and you do not speak to warn the wicked about his way, that wicked one will die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. If you warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, and he does not turn from his way, then he will die in his iniquity, but you have saved your soul. You, son of man, say to the house of Israel, you have said, surely our transgressions and our sins are upon us, and we are pining away in them. So how can we live? Say to them, as I live, it is the declaration of Adonai. I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Return from your evil ways. Why will you die, O house of Israel? You, son of man, say to the children of your people, the righteousness of the righteous person will not deliver him in the day of his transgression, nor will the wickedness of the wicked person make him stumble in it on the day he returns away from his wickedness, nor will the righteous person will be able to live by it on the day he sins. When I tell the righteous that he will surely live, but he trusts in his own righteousness and commits an iniquity, none of his righteous deeds will be remembered, but in his iniquity that he has committed he will die. When I say to the wicked, you will surely die, yet he turns from his sin and does what is just and right. If the wicked restores a pledge, gives back what he had taken by robbery, walks in the laws of life, committing no iniquity, he will surely live, he will not die. None of his sins that he has committed will be remembered against him. He has done what is just and right, he will surely live. Yet the children of your people say the way of Adonai isn't fair, but it is their way, theirs, that is unfair. When a righteous person turns from his righteousness and commits iniquity, he will die in it. When a wicked person turns from his wickedness and does what is just and right, he will live by it. Yet you say, the way of Adonai is not fair. House of Israel, I will judge every one of you according to his ways. In the 12th year of our exile, on the 5th day of the 10th month, a survivor from Jerusalem came to me, saying, the city has been struck down. The hand of Adonai had been upon me in the evening before the survivor came. He had opened my mouth by the time of his coming to me in the morning. So my mouth was opened, and I was no longer mute. Then the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, the inhabitants of these ruins in the land of Israel keep saying, Abraham was only one, yet he inherited the land. Since we are many, the land is given to us as a possession. Therefore say to them, thus says Adonai Elohim, you eat with the blood, lift up your eyes to your idols and shed blood. Should you possess the land, you rely on your sword, commit abominations, and each of you defiles his neighbor's wife. Should you possess the land, say this to them, thus says Adonai Elohim, as I live, surely those who are in the ruin will fall by the sword. Whoever is in the open field I will give to the beast to be devoured, and whoever is in the stronghold and in the caves will die of the plague. I will make the land a desolation and a horror. The pride of her power will cease. The mountains of Israel will be desolate, so that no one will pass through. They will know that I am Adonai when I have made the land a desolate waste because of all their abominations that they have committed. Now, as for you, Son of Man, the children of your people are talking about you by the walls and in the doorways of the house. Each one speaks to one another, each saying to his brother, Come now, hear what message is coming forth from Adonai. So they come to you as people come and sit before you as my people and hear your words, but they do not do them, for with their mouth they express doting love, but their heart goes after their own dishonest gain. Look, you are like a love song to them, one who has a beautiful voice and can play well on an instrument. They hear your words, but do not practice them. When this comes to pass, behold, it is coming. They will know that a prophet has been among them.